Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. I am, of course, your host, me. If you could believe it, that sentence and a half took me 3 tries to do. Normally, we don't edit here at all. We don't edit this podcast. It's just off the cuff. But when you fuck up the intro, you restart. You restart till you get it right. So here we are, round 3. Today, we are going to talk about Season 1 of MLB The Show 24. Season 1, of course, ends on Friday. We will get Season 2 beginning. A whole new world. A new beginning of the game. Sort of. If you guys are listening and being like, hey, you sound a little different. I have heard the complaints. I have said this before. But now I've taken matters into my own hands. I have a brand new microphone. It is set up. It is here. You can't see it. Because of the magic of editing and staging. It is a much higher quality microphone. I think I've positioned it better. And fingers crossed, I think I set it up right. As always, work in progress, though. So please, helpful criticisms. If you'd like something different, if you think something's a little off, we could still do tweaks. But for now, this is what we got for this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. We cannot start talking about Season 1's recap without talking about how it closed. Because Season 1 closed in a real stupid, dumb way. So last week, on Friday, aka Friday, we got a Lou Gehrig program, which is fine and cool. I appreciated that this Gehrig was a core card. It stinks, kind of, outside of it being supercharged until Season 2 begins. I just wish they built it a little better. Like, if this was a core 93 even, we could have had some better attribute distribution. His fielding could have been better. Whatever. 3 cards, super easy to get. A lot of XP, but they're going to nerf the XP for Season 2. Different discussion. Then they gave us the final season award drop. So, what season awards have been good for in Season 1 is filling up your collection binder. Really it. A lot of these cards stink. I mean, they built some of these well. Like this card, Jonathan Rodriguez, Guardians fans, I'm sorry. Never heard of this guy. This card is built well. He's just lagging behind where we're at in the game right now. Kyron Paris, honestly, he's not built bad either. 53 vision's kind of rough. Braxton Garrett ain't bad. This David Fry actually slaps, and he's exciting and fun. Plays a lot of positions, can run a little bit. Kills lefties, they're dead on arrival. But you only have 7 days to use them. The biggest problem, they ran a flash sale on Friday, 1 week before Season 1 ended. Talk about out of touch. I think, with all due respect, what SDS has proven to us with this content model and game structure is that they are out of touch with what the community wants and out of touch with logical decision-making when it comes to spending either in-game currency or real-life currency on virtual cards. So, we go to the pack. I laugh. So, they dropped a 30,000 stub Season 1 award pack. That's been par for the course. Now, of course, no one's buying this pack because the season's almost over. They did, shout out, this is cool, a free one. I think you should get a free one every week. But still, a free one. Not bad. And then the biggest LOL to the whole thing, and this I actually like, I find this funny, is that Marcell Ozuna, who I'm pretty sure is not a good person. I think we can all agree, not a great person. They finally gave us a Marcell Ozuna card. He's a 99. He's really good. You can use him for 7 days. So, expect this to be the only good Marcell Ozuna card you get all year, because they wanted to troll the community by being like, yeah, you can use him, but he's not a good person, so you get a week. Nobody's wildcarding this guy. So, they expect you, again, to spend stubs a week before it's gone on these packs. Silly stupid. Here's the dumbest thing. Now this, I think, their idea was these packs are no longer in the shop. These packs are hard to acquire. These packs are not in a ton of programs, so we're going to put them back in the shop. We'll guarantee you the rare card. Don't hate that. Don't hate guaranteeing rare cards, but we're going to play with the prices. Now, the problem is that in the email or the scouting report or the blog post, I think it was the blog post, they said all of these home stretch packs would be 30,000 stubs. Well, guess what? They ain't. 45,000, 55,000, 65,000. And here's the fucking kicker. And if you're on Twitter, you've already seen this. This pack is worth 65,000 stubs. Spencer Strider is worth 55,000 stubs. Jackson Chourio, 53,000 stubs. You are spending 65,000 stubs to light 13,000 of those on fire to get Jackson Chourio. How out of touch can you be? And the prices still haven't adjusted themselves. This is either A, not being aware of what's going on in your own game. And I wouldn't be shocked about that. It's either A, that, or B, let's see how many idiots we can fool to spend more stubs than they have to. It might be a combo of both. I'd like to think it's not the second one, because the second one seems really malicious, and I don't appreciate that. But the first one, being out of touch with your game's marketplace and how things are working, that wouldn't shock me either. The other thing they did was 25% off a vault pack, so that's 30,000 stubs. I don't mind shop discounts. I'm not going to complain about a shop discount, but like, too little too late, I think. Nothing else really changed here. No headliner pack, because they were like, oh, only 7 days left. We can't give out a headliner. But what we can do is give out Season 1 awards drop 10 and all this other crap. So I say all this because I think it kind of, in some ways, explains pretty well what was wrong with Season 1. Or maybe what's going to be wrong with this game moving forward. And I don't just mean 24, maybe 25, 20. Maybe the future of MLB The Show is this. Why did so many people love MLB The Show? Not before, not this year, probably not even last year, but before. It was accessible, which it still is, to be fair. Like, I don't love the whole it's becoming, or it is Madden, it is 2K. It's getting there. On this trajectory, if it continues, it could be that. It's still not. It's still accessible to build a no money spent team. Your no money spent team might not be like completely as overpowered as someone who is excellent at the game or spends a little bit of money, but like you can still field a very competitive team. And ultimately, this game is theoretically input based. So it doesn't matter what cards you use. If you have good inputs, you should be fine. I digress, though, because I agree with the distaste of the larger community. This game is trending in a direction that completely defies every reason so many people love the game. You could log on, there'd be content once or twice a week. Like, we were on a cycle where there was Tuesday, Friday content not too long ago. And not all of it was lengthy content, but because we were getting infusions of stuff to do so frequently, none of us complained if a Tuesday grind was only like an hour and a half, because we knew on Friday we were getting more. The game has become pack heavy for content. Packs are not content. Packs supplement content. Packs can make content more fun. Packs are a chance gamble. Content, to me, is not cards. Content is doing things to achieve cards. There's a whole fundamental problem with this game works, with the way this game works, excuse me. And, you know, I'm going to backtrack a little bit what I said last year. And what I've continued to say, because I think I've changed my mind. People are allowed to change their minds. People are allowed to take a year and a half to change their mind. So, stop the presses, call the local reporters. I, kdjTV, no longer think sets and seasons or just seasons is a good idea. At first, I was open to it. I was here for it. I was like, you know what? I respect the change. I respect the pretty bold move. Like, it was a risk for sure. Like, absolutely, it was a risk. I respected it. But I've also said from the beginning, collections and the set seasons model can't work. Simply can't. They just don't go hand in hand because of, like, the different ways things work. I think that's proven itself this year. Secondly, people don't like losing what they grinded for. Now, to be completely honest, that does not bother me. I'll be fair. Everyone can be bothered by different things. That does not bother me because, like, I enjoy grinding for stuff when the grind doesn't suck. And I get excited to try new cards. So that doesn't bother me. I understand fully why it bothers others, and I'm not looking down upon your opinion. If that's how you feel, I get it. I'm not here to criticize. But we've seen both ways of how sets and seasons can stink. Last year, let's go back to sets and seasons. The whole goal of sets and seasons, theoretically, was variety. You're going to have to reset your shit. But they were all 99s day one, so everything was overpowered pretty quick. And again, 99s day one didn't bother me either. But the variety became very stale because you could carry over your set 1 into set 2, and your set 2 into set 3, and etc. Things becoming stale, plus the stupid, silly captain boosts, which captains are another thing that have hurt this game. You know, Ripken and Rollins and the durability and the shortstops and the whatever. Those did not help the variety situation. So now you move ahead to this year. The power creep's back. I like this. This should theoretically help variety. Power creep is good just in general, by the way. Seasons. No more sets. When a season ends, those cards are launched into the atmosphere. In some game, not all game modes. And then you start fresh season 2. I was like, you know what? I'll hear it out. Turns out that became bad because they dropped too many cards too late, and they made it too difficult to acquire cards along the XP path in terms of the grind and the XP cap. And then the collections became too overwhelming. Some people still, even with all the free content the last couple weeks, don't have collections done. Maybe you could argue they could grind more efficiently. I would argue that those cards should be easier to attain earlier in the collection path. That would be my argument. And then your variety gets ruined when you drop a Carlos Santana captain that makes playing ranked the most infuriating thing possible, because every lineup is exactly the same. You would think SDS would have learned from last year and dropping the Ripken and Rollins boosts and being like, you know what, we're not going to drop an over-meta captain again. We will drop captains that supplement theme teams. We will drop captains that do like cool, quirky things like the Seiya Suzuki captain, super cool. Asian-born player captain, awesome. The Mark Pryor 2000s cap, or no, it's Mark Pryor, David Ortiz, the 2000s captain. That one's awesome. Like, I like stuff like that. Where even though it's a sick, crazy boost that you could argue becomes the meta, at least there are so many different cards available to fit that you see different things. Plus, switch hitting, as we've all said before, is already advantageous. Giving a boost on top of your already had advantage is stupid. It's dumb. This is a big, long tangent. I digress. Season 1 or seasons we've learned don't work because by the time you get all the good cards, they all go away. Unless you play co-op and then you can do whatever you want. I understand that. So what's next? That's my question. What's next? We surely won't have this. I think they've heard the feedback, right? There's no way. The only other thing I can see in my head them trying, and I'm not advocating for it. I don't know how it would work. I'm just spitting it out. They've tried seasons where you can only use it for one season. They've tried sets and seasons where they overlap for one full season. The only thing they haven't done is some sort of like in-the-middle hybrid where, let's say, a season is 10 weeks. You can use the previous season's cards for 5 weeks into the new season. So, like, there's a little bit of an overlap, a buffer, a 5-week halfway point buffer. It gives you time to build up your lineup with the newer season's cards. You could still use the old season's cards that you grinded for at the end. And then once that halfway buffer hits, those cards go away, and you have to integrate more of the current season stuff. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm not saying it's a concept that would work, but it is the only logical thing in this line of progression that they haven't tried yet. Is that where we go next year? I don't know. I kind of just hope they go back to the way it used to be. I say this as like the largest fan of MLB The Show, not SDS the company, just the video game MLB The Show. I've said before how much this game means to me, just in terms of memories it's made and friendships and my relationship with my brother, and like I've gone through all these things. The game means a lot to me. I'm not having a ton of fun playing MLB The Show 24. And what's weird is that I tweeted that the other day. My MLB The Show thought, everything has become so mission goal-oriented in online play that I don't know if there's truly a fun, captivating mode that we'll all play just because we wanna. Maybe that's what offline is for, but some people just don't want to play the CPU. Me and others. Just one idiot's thoughts on the game. And then I threaded. Like it's been... Or I did a thread on Twitter. I did not go to Threads. Does anybody use Instagram Threads? I don't think so. It's been some time since I've just picked up the game for fun. It's always, I have to finish this, I have to go get that card. What if there was just a super fun ski mode where we all could just play and have a good time? And guess what? I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I hope it... Ramon liked those tweets. I'm trying my best here. There we go. See? Ramon liked them. So... Also, Ramon has gotten promoted within SDS. I don't know if people realize that. I don't know what his exact title is, but he's not just overseeing MLB The Show anymore. That doesn't mean he don't have a word. I am sure he and others have heard these complaints or criticisms. I want to have fun playing this game. I miss having fun playing this game. With the way the content has been rolled out this year, with the way their philosophy has changed in terms of what's content and what's not, the seasons thing is kind of boring. The power creep was so accelerated that it didn't feel super rewarding. MLB The Show 24 started out on such a high note. And I'm sure I was not the only one who felt this way. It ended up being a severe overreaction, I guess, but I thought it had potential to be one of the best gameplay games ever in MLB The Show history. Everything's fallen off a cliff. You know, you can compound all the distaste for this game with how, like, foul balls are the worst they've ever been. Slider PCIs to same-handed batters are a nightmare. There's inconsistent flukiness. And then you talk about how the content and the cards and everything work. You know, they've taken away collections that used to give us stubs. You know, you used to be able to collect so many different types of equipment. Now you can collect bats and socks, and that's it. You know, you collect all these uniforms for 2,000 stubs and 10 packs. Each one of these costs 500 or 600 stubs. There's 120 of them. Ridiculous. The in-year BR change was dumb. It should have been changed before the game began. Not when they realized, oh no, people are making too many stubs. We're not making enough money. I can keep going. Season 1 of MLB The Show 24 was a travesty. The two-way pitcher glitch was back. We fixed that last year. It was back early this year. The Carlos Santana captain ruined the online meta. People are unhappy about the grind for getting their 99s and then only using them for 3 days. The XP cap was an enormous issue. There are too many packs. There are not enough programs other than season awards, which I think is what they hoped would be like suitable programs. There was a recap program that wasn't even a playable program, really. It was just collections. You had a Lou Gehrig program, a Show Classic program, a Jackie Robinson program, which really wasn't even a program, the Egg Hunt, your starter, and your breakout. There were like 6 or 7 programs in 12 weeks of gameplay. that offered variety and fun content. That's not good. It's just not good. I love this game, and I want to keep loving this game. This franchise. I love baseball. You love baseball. That's why you're here. I would imagine 100% of people who play MLB The Show are baseball fans. You're not getting a cricket fan playing MLB The Show. Like an exclusively cricket fan. If you also enjoy cricket, that's cool. I'm not singling you out that way. But like, a non-baseball person is not playing MLB The Show. That's my point. We are all baseball fans. We all want a fun game. This game has not fulfilled what we're looking for. If you are enjoying this game, that's fine. I'm just an idiot on the internet. Your opinion is not incorrect. I am curious, though, in the comments, what is it about the game that you're enjoying? I am, of course, speaking from almost exclusively a Diamond Dynasty standpoint, because that's what I play. I know Franchise has made great updates with the custom game entry. Road to the Show did some stuff. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about Road to the Show, so I don't know if the changes have been good, bad, indifferent, whatever. I'm just speaking from strictly an online live content service game standpoint. It is unfortunate how little fun I've had. And so they're going to be, well, why do you make content? I enjoy making content. I enjoy this. This is fun. For me. This is what keeps me coming back to the game. I enjoy bridging gaps for people who might not understand the inner workings of this game. That's where I've gotten my joy now. And I hope the game just gets better. I mean, I'm not expecting much from Season 2. Maybe that sets me up to have my balls blown off, because I'm expecting almost nothing from it. We'll see how the wild card ends up working. We'll see who the popular wild cards are. I don't know who that's going to be. You guys might already. I don't know. But I'm just, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I'm curious where you guys are mentally. I know a lot of you guys don't really play anymore because you're already bored of the game. You're waiting for college football. It's a different discussion, but I hear you. I know there are a lot of you also who stopped playing but still listen or watch, and that is super neato. So thank you. But it's unfortunate that this is where we're at. Where on June 2nd, where like the summer months of the baseball season, like the doldrums of the summer aren't even here yet, and the game is already like on its last leg. The game just came out. This game just came out. It's wild. It's crazy. But that's where we are. That's where we are. So let me know what you guys think about Season 1 or thought about Season 1. Are you excited in any way, shape, or form for Season 2? And we'll just talk. We'll have a conversation. So thank you guys for making it to the end of this episode. I love you. I appreciate you. Content coming this week, of course. Maybe even, it depends on how I'm feeling or what my work is looking like. I'm finally slowed down at work, but I might do some sort of like Friday recap of the drop of Season 2. We'll see. And yeah, we'll feel it out. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for bringing it to the end. I love you so much. I hope my microphone sounded good. And I'll see you next time.